done not with crab, but with imitation crab. And the reason is that my girlfriend will not eat anything or have anything to do with crab. She says it's the ugliest creature alive and she finds it completely disgusting. She does, I do not. So has almost a similar taste as a crab. So they come in these little sticks and you just take it all apart like this and you drop them, and this is what I'll be using. Now this is a good alternative for other people to use because instead of paying $3,000 a pound for the real crab, you can get a nice mixture which basically tastes practically the same, and it's really, really good. And it is a fish, high in protein, it's very good for you. So I'm using this kind that I found here at the Polish restaurant. I can't read it, but it does say crabella. So, and it is a fish, and those are the sticks. So we're going to be using this. So potatoes that have been boiling for a while. As soon as I can take the fork and I can stab them in the middle and they're tender, then I know that they're ready. Then I will peel them, and then I'm going to cut them into little small pieces. Ready for this recipe. Here we have our pan ready, and the first thing we put in is about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And what we do, we just take 1 onion, throw it in, and just to wait for the sizzle. And we take about half a cup of onions and we put that in. Then we stir that all around, and we keep on stirring that until it becomes a little bit golden brown. If you like it that way. If not, then just halfway through, but I like mine to be a little golden brown. And now, you can see that's becoming a little bit brown. That's the point where we stop. And now what we do is we add about 2 tablespoons of tomato paste. Oops, shouldn't bake that on the first one. And we move that all the way around. Be careful, the pan is very, very hot. And we lower the heat a little bit. And then we add my pimento paste, which is on my other recipe. You notice that I use this a lot because it's basically a Portuguese recipe here. If you do not want to use that, again, you can use the substitute, which is the ketchup, if you want. And we move that all the way around. Now we got some fresh ground pepper, a little bit more, I like it. And we add a little bit of salt. And to make it up, you can add any kind of fish seasoning that you want. I like using this type of salmon seasoning. It gives it an extra little boost in flavor. And we'll move it all the way around. And turn off the heat, and that's basically it. Here are the potatoes that I just finished boiling, peeling, and I cut them into little squares, or I diced them. Some pieces are bigger, some are smaller, it really doesn't matter. Now make sure your hands are washed because we're going to be using our hands for this. We have about 4 potatoes here, and I have 1 medium-sized package of crab or imitation crab meat, and we put that in. Now we have 2 eggs slightly beaten, and I'm going to just be putting a little bit at a time to watch the moisture content. Depending on how much you're going to make, I don't want to get this too moist because we're going to be making the patties out of them. So I'm just going to put in about half of the egg mixture. And now I take my hands and I move that all around. Now you can see at this point I have some eggs left over. I'm not going to put any more because I have basically the moisture that I want here. I don't want to overdo it. And what I'm going to do with this, I'm going to use this for the last process, the rest of the egg. Now what we do is we take some parsley and we put our parsley inside. And we move that all the way around. Now you notice that the Portuguese, we use a lot of parsley, almost in everything. It's good for you. Parsley is one of the superfoods of the world. Now this is turning out really, really nice. And now, here comes the fun part that I enjoy. Put that aside, grab another bowl, and we grab about, for the size I'm making, about half a cup of cornflakes. Yes, cornflakes. I don't like using fresh corn. I like using cornflakes. So I put in maybe, let's say, about 3/4 of a cup there. And now we take our hands again And my fun part is just smashing it. I just love to do this. If you feel frustrated at any time, you just make this recipe, you come here and you squeeze down on these cornflakes and it will make you feel better, guaranteed. Now you can use breadcrumbs if you want, you can use whole bread if you want. I would take the old bread and what I would do is I would toast it first and then chop it up and put it in this mixture. But you're going to find out that cornflakes is the best. Now you take your mixture back here, you take your cornflakes and you mix that in and you stick your hands in there again. The mixture is becoming perfect. It's a little bit dry and at this point I could add more eggs, but I'm not going to because there's one more thing I'm going to cook in here that's going to make it even more moist. Now what I have is some egg whites that have been beaten. And this will give it a more light flavor to our mixture. So we put that in there. And now we move that around. And then we take our sauce that we made and we put that inside too. And we take our hands again and we mix that really, really good. Now turn it into a ball. And now let that sit for about 10 minutes so all the flavors can intermingle and combine with each other and give us a real super taste. Okay, I'm back. That's been sitting for about 10 minutes. Now what do we got inside? We got our plate, which is going to hold our croquettes, and we just put a little bit of breadcrumbs on there so they do not stick. And we have the eggs for dipping. We have our breadcrumbs, and we have our crab mixture. Now we can use the spoon for a proper measurement here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take exactly one portion on top of the spoon like this, and first we're going to mold it into not into a ball but more into an oval shape like this. Now we press around, get a nice press. Now I know it's a little hard to handle, but you'll get used to it after 4 or 5. Now what I do is I do not dip it into the egg mixture. What I do is I pick up the egg mixture, I roll it around in my hands. I find it easier for me like this, and then I put it into the breadcrumbs, throw that all the way around and kind of remold it and put it on the plate. So we're going to show you again. 1 spoon measurement into your hand, press, and then what we do is we make it go into an oval shape. Don't worry about if there's more parsley on one side or not. Grab the egg mixture, roll it around very gently into the breadcrumbs, and there. And here we are. Here they're all done. Notice some are bigger, some are smaller. I did that on purpose just to show you that it can be done anyway. It does not have to be perfect, but it's going to be 100% awesome. And now we're going to deep fry them. Now we have a deep fryer with about 1.5 to 2 inches of oil. We really don't need any more than that. And I have it on medium heat, and I already gave it a little test, and the temperature is perfect. So we take one of our croquettes, and the way I do it is gently I put it on top of here so it does not splatter or burn you or hurt you, and you just drop them inside, and they're just going to basically be in there for about 2 to 3 minutes because they already have been pre-cooked except for the eggs and some of the other ingredients that I have in there. Now you can see they're cooking nicely, gently. They're cooking very nicely. You can turn them around a little. What I do is I move them around just very gently so they do not break at this stage. And basically, since they're immersed in the oil, they'll cook just nicely until they are a little bit golden brown. And now we take one and we check it, and we can see that it has changed to a light golden brown, and they are ready. So now what we do is we take one plate with paper, and we very gently take it and we put it on the plate. Now notice I changed spoons to this one, which holds it a lot easier. Welcome back. Here's our crab croquettes. Look how beautiful they are. Awesome, nice and toasty brown on the outside, and I am sure it's going to be nice and tender in the inside. And this sauce that I use for dipping, I will put it on another video. but it's a very mild sauce. It's not very hot because my girlfriend does not like this stuff very hot. So, you know this is my favorite part of the whole video is the testing. So, let's grab one of these, and you can see that if I open them up, they're just beautiful inside, nice and moist, and the smell is absolutely awesome. So, take a little bit of this sauce. You can see you can serve this as an appetizer or a party plate, whatever keeps you happy. And you know, this is really, really good. So, do you think I spoiled my girlfriend or not? All I can say is thank you very much for being with me. I don't have any wine here. I didn't open up a bottle, but I'll have one later with my girlfriend. Just remember, good wine, good food, and good friends makes for one hell of a nice life. Thank you very much for being with me, and I'll see you again on my next cooking series.